Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can tell by the title, I am using the Roxi Revolution palette, which this palette, I love it, like I love the reflection and everything, but like you can see like fingerprints instantly. So I'm doing two looks with one palette. This is the first look that I have just filmed. You're going to be seeing that in a couple of minutes. And then I am going to be filming a bright, summery, vibrant look because this palette, if you haven't seen it, has got some gorgeous, that yellow, that like reddy orange. It has got some good colours. So I'm going to be doing that. The eye portions, like the tutorials, are voiceovers. These are the only bits you actually get to see me in real time. But yeah, I thought I'd try something a little different. I've not done like two looks in one video, but I thought I would do like two polar opposites. So we've got cool tone and then we've got warm tones. But I hope you do like it. Please give it a thumbs up if you do and hit subscribe. I have done another look with this palette, which was using these gorgeous pinks. Well, I say these, not this one, but these three and this one, which is like a duochrome pink white shift. It is gorgeous. And I will link that. It was my last video to go up, which was a full face of drugstore makeup. I had a couple of little issues with the blending out, but the colours are super pigmented, but I don't know if it was the base that I'd used, which I do know it was. I used my Collection Lasting Perfection concealer as my base, and I use that quite a lot. But this one, I just took a little bit more blending out, went a little bit more patchy, so I did have to work on that eye a little more when I did this look, which you will see. I filmed it all on camera, so you'll see me keep having to go back in and out. But it wasn't anything too bad. I mean, this palette is £10 for the variety of colours you get, for the different looks you can do. I love this palette. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the Revolution palettes. Probably most of my drawer is, like, I've got a drawer full of Revolution palettes, so I had a feeling I was going to like it. But like I say, keep on watching if you want to see how I did this look. Super simple, 3 mattes, 1 shimmer, and that is all that I used. And then keep on watching further on, and you will see my nice bright colours. Look, and yeah, I will see you at the end of the video. Bye!
Hey everyone, so as I said, I am doing my cool toned Smokey Eye first, and I'm taking the darkest shade that I'm going to be working with, which is the shade Cola. I'm going to take that on a flat brush, and you can just see the pigment, and I'm going to lay that down, get the shape roughly to what I want, how far up I want it to go. But I am going to blend it out with this shade, but with a crease brush. So I'm not taking it too high, just sort of doing my little domed shape. Then, like I say, I'm going to take a crease brush with the same shade and just fluff it out a little bit so that there's no there's not as much of a harsh line. Now, as I said, I did struggle a little bit with this side to blend it out. As you can see, it's taking me a little bit longer. I think that was just the pigment. And then I'm going to take the shade Cookie, which is a not cool tone but not warm toned either, pale brown, and I'm going to use that to blend right up to where I'm going to put the highlighter later on my brow bone. And this is just to get the gradient of colour, so we're not just using one colour. But as you can see, they do take a little bit of blending, but for £10 I don't mind that it takes me a little bit longer. And then I'm going to take a small flat brush, and I'm going to take I can't remember the shade name, I'll write it down in the comments. And I'm going to just keep this to the centre of my eye, but I did find that it was better being damped down. I mean, you can see the difference in the pigment that's coming through there. So I used my Revolution Hyaluronic fixing spray just to damp down my brush, and it shows off the colour so much better. And then what I did was the brush that I used to blend out the crease, I just used that to soften up the edges of where the matte meets the shimmer shade, just so we've got no harsh lines. And then I'm just going to make sure it's all fully blended, because like I said, it did take a little bit of blending, so you just have to sit and be patient. Okay, so I've now done my face, and I'm going to go in with that gorgeous blue shade and stamp it along my lower lash line. It is so pigmented, it is gorgeous. And I'm using an EcoTools dual-ended brush, and I used the smaller shade, I think it's called a shader side, and then I used the fluffy side to just blow it out. As you can see, it's just making it look a bit more smoky. And then just to make sure it's not too far down and making it look like I've got black eyes, I'm taking the Lottie London Ready Set Go powder, which is a completely translucent, and just to bring that blue back, just so that it sits under my eyes nicely.
Okay, so this is look 1 all done. I just went with my MAC Cook lip liner and my MAC Jamie Genevieve lipstick, and then loads of mascara. I used the Mascara Revolution. So like I said, this is look number 1. This is my cool toned look. I know this blue's like an aquary blue, but obviously blue is technically cool toned. So now you're going to see me do my bright, bold, out there look. I actually don't know what I'm going to do yet, but you're going to see it in about 2 seconds. So keep watching, give it a thumbs up if you like this first look, and at the end of the video let me know down in the comments which one you preferred, whether you prefer this one, which is a smoky cool tone look, or whether you prefer the next one, the nice bright summery look, which I hope the lighting was okay. Even though it's summer, the sun keeps coming in and out, so obviously that is the only thing when filming in natural lighting. The lighting can change a little bit, but like I say, hope you like it, keep on watching, and I will see you at the end of the video.
Okay, so I decided that I am going to do a cut crease. I haven't done a cut crease in a while, but I'm taking the mustard yellow shade and blowing that out through my crease and up to my brow bone. I do like to keep my crease colours quite high when I'm doing a cut crease, because I have got slightly hooded eyes, so I want to be able to see them obviously when I put my cut crease in. This colour was gorgeous. It is, like I say, more of a mustard yellow, not like a really summery, bright, vibrant yellow, but you still get the pigment payoff from it. And I will apologise about the lighting, because it was so bright it was reflecting off the palette, so it does keep changing through this clip. And then taking the orange shade and again putting that through my crease. You're probably going to get a little bit bored because that's what you're going to hear for the next couple of colours, but that is what doing a cut crease is. Build them up in the crease so that when you cut the crease you get a lovely, like, nice summery, well, it's going to be like a sunset gradient for these colours. And don't worry if, like I have, you've gone a little bit too high with the transition shade. You can bring that back down with the highlighting shade for your brow bone, which is what I will do a bit later on. I'm just making sure that I've fully blended it out. We don't want no harsh lines. The only line that we want is where the cut crease is, and obviously that's going to come a bit later on. And then I'm going to take the shade Ariel, which is the pinky red shade. It's not like a super vibrant, like postbox red, but it is a gorgeous red, and I'm putting that through where I've just put the orange, but using a slightly smaller brush so it keeps more concentrated. And then I'm going to blend it out with the orange. And as I said, this is where you're starting to build up the sunset gradient. As you can see, you get in the deeper shades in the crease and then blowing it out towards the brow bone. And now I'm just repeating the same on the other side. I like to do it this way and not do one eye and then the other, because I like to make sure that I've matched my eyes up when it comes to a cut crease. I don't mind doing it if I'm doing any other look, but when it comes to a cut crease or like a halo eye, you have to make sure they're symmetrical, because otherwise it's quite obvious when they're not. So I like to just keep going backwards and forwards between both eyes. And now I'm going to take my Collection Lasting Perfection in Extra Fair, which is the concealer that I primed my lids with. And I'm going to take a small flat brush. And the way that I find where my crease needs to be, I draw a line, as you just saw, along my lash line. Look up and it'll transfer to where my natural crease is. And then I just connect the dots pretty much. Repeating the same on the other eye, and this is where I tend to, what I do majority of one of my cut creases, then go in and do the other one, and then equal them both out a little bit at a time, just because I find it easier that way. If I go too much on one side, or if I do one side and then do too much on the other side, it's just harder to match them up. But I like to use a flat brush as well. It keeps that line nice and straight. And then I'm going to go in with the gold shimmer shade, which was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but I found the easiest way to put it on was with my finger. It's just so much easier. The shimmer shades are quite firmly pressed, so you do need a firmer hand. Sometimes a brush is a bit too delicate, and it doesn't pick up enough pigment to really get that payoff that you need on your eyes. And then I just used the brush that I used for my cut crease to keep the line nice and sharp at the top. Sorry if my voice keeps going a little bit croaky. My hay fever is driving me up the wall today. I keep losing my voice. as you can see, that yellow gold is absolutely gorgeous. It really stands out against the red and the orange tones. And then I'm going to take, to blend it in, that Ariel shade that we used on the outer corner, the red. And this is where I'm going to start flicking backwards and forwards. If you haven't seen my cut crease tutorial, it is an older video. I will try and link it down in the description to show you how I blend my cut creases and things like that, what I find is easy for me, because obviously this is just a quick overhaul, just showing you two different looks with the same palette. But if you want a little bit more in depth, I will try to remember to link it either in the cards or in the description. And the main thing with a cut crease is blending. And just like that, we've got a full face of makeup and some lashes. And I'm going to use the colours that I used on my crease on my lower lash line. So I'm starting with the red, which is Ariel, and I'm also blending that towards the upper lid. So like the line that I've created, I'm just smoking that out, as you can see there, just to blend it nicely, to make it all tie in together. And then I'm going to use the orange to blend out that red, and pretty much just mirroring what I have done on the top lid, just to tie everything together. And then the yellow, finally, just to blow that out and bring some brightness to the bottom lash, because we're not going smoky on this. We do want it nice and bright, which that yellow definitely does. And we use the Primark Lash Contour mascara just to darken up my lower lashes. Obviously I've already got lashes on and my top mascara done. And then to finish the look, I'm going to take the white gold highlighting shade and use that on my inner corners and my brow bones, just to tie everything together.
So this is the second look and final look. As you saw, I did a cut crease. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer to do this look. I haven't done a proper cut crease in ages, but I have put my lip on. I have used the Florma Silk Matte Liquid Lipsticks in Undressed, and then just a slightly darker lip liner. I'm wearing Sosu lashes in Sarah. Let me double check. Yeah, in Sarah. Just nice and soft so that you can still see the cut crease and all the detail going on behind the eye. So I thought I'd just round up my final thoughts. Now, I do like this palette. I like the colours, I like the pigment. I mean, you can see. The only thing I will say, and I can show you up close, the shimmers are pressed so firmly. I mean, you can see there that it's pretty much repressed itself. So using a brush is not the easiest way to get the pigment to pay off. So as you saw, I was using my finger. Come on. Cats and area, thanks. Yeah, so I was using my finger to get it on. And the one thing I have noticed, and it's not noticeable when you look at me, but I'm going to come up close. This eye looks fine. I mean, I've had this makeup on maybe half an hour. I've after about done my makeup, done like my base and everything. But this eye, I don't know if you can see, it started to crack a little bit compared to this one, and the shimmer pigment's not as good. And I used the same concealer. I used my Collection Lasting Perfection. I did the same. I mean, you saw I used my finger and then just used the brush to get the line a bit cleaner. But I'm not. The pigment payoff, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. The formulation of the metallics, I prefer the Soph Extra Spice and even the original Soph palette over this one. So yeah, still, don't get me wrong, still looks amazing, but it just takes a little bit more to work at it. I hope you did like this video. Which look is your favourite? Do you prefer cool tone or warm tone? Obviously this look takes a little bit longer. It's a cut crease. Cut creases do not happen in 10 seconds flat. I must be honest, I just don't do them because I just cannot be, a lot of the time cannot be bothered to sit here and like mess about getting them even and everything. I tend to, if I'm doing shimmers, I just put them straight onto my lid. But I feel like if these didn't have the base, the payoff wouldn't be quite as good. So yeah, I still really like this look. Please give this video a thumbs up, and like I said, let me know down in the comments which was your favourite look and favourite style of eye look. And if there's anything else you want to see me do with this palette, because like I said, I do like this palette, and I like the colour story that's in here, especially these pinks. Like I said, if you've seen my full face of drugstore, you'll see that I loved those colours. But I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.